What if I told you that an ancient, kind of mysterious book of wisdom held the secret to navigating our crazy, chaotic modern lives? Today, we're diving deep into the Tao Te Ching, a profound guide that might just be more relevant now than it was over 2,000 years ago. I mean, just try to imagine a guide to life written 2.5 millennia ago. This is long before social media, long before 24-hour news cycles, and way before that relentless pressure we all feel to constantly be on. So here's the kicker. What if that ancient guide held the key to navigating our world with more calm, more clarity, and honestly, more effectiveness? That's the paradox, and that's exactly what we're going to explore.
Okay, so before we unpack its secrets, we really need to understand where it comes from. What exactly is this ancient and, let's be real, pretty enigmatic book?
Well, it's attributed to a wise old sage named Laozi from way back in 6th century BCE China. The title itself, The Classic of the Way and Its Virtue, kind of gives you a clue about its purpose. But here's the thing, this isn't a typical rulebook. It's a collection of 81 short, poetic chapters that are really designed to just point us toward a deeper way of living. And right at the heart of all 81 of those chapters is this one central, almost ungraspable mystery. It's a single concept that, if you can get a feel for it, unlocks everything else in the book. And that concept is the Tao. The word literally just means the way or the path. But what it's pointing to is the natural, spontaneous, underlying order of the entire universe. It's the flow of reality itself, and here's the trick, it's not something you can just pin down with a simple definition. And that's kind of the whole point. This quote is literally the very first line of the book. It's such a brilliant move, isn't it? Right off the bat, Laozi tells us that any attempt to name or define the Tao is going to miss the point entirely. It's an experience you have to align with, not just an idea to memorize. And that perfectly captures the mystery at its heart. So you might be wondering, if the Tao is beyond words, how are we supposed to live in harmony with it? It's a great question, and thankfully, the book gives us a very practical path for action. This brings us to a really crucial concept called Wu Wei. Now, it's often translated as non-action, but that's a little misleading. A much better way to think of it is effortless action or non-forcing. It's all about knowing when to act and when to just let things unfold. Moving with the current instead of constantly fighting against it. Think about it this way. When you try to force things in your life, you become rigid, brittle, you get exhausted, and you just create so much resistance. But when you practice Wu Wei, when you're in that flow state, you become adaptable and resilient. Your actions feel effortless because you're in sync with the situation, and that allows you to navigate obstacles with a surprising amount of ease. The Tao Te Ching uses this absolutely beautiful metaphor for this. It says, the greatest virtue is to be like water. I mean, think about it. Water nourishes everything without even trying. It's soft and it yields, but over time it can carve through the hardest rock. It doesn't fight, it flows. And that, right there, is Wu Wei in action. And this whole idea of non-forcing connects directly to another core teaching, simplicity. The text basically suggests that our constant striving for more stuff, more status, more control, is actually a form of forcing. True contentment, it says, comes from just appreciating what is, right here, right now. Now, this idea of flowing doesn't just apply to our actions. It fundamentally changes the entire way we see the world and all the different forces that shape it. And this, of course, brings us to the famous symbol of yin and yang, a concept that's just deeply rooted in Taoist thought. The whole idea is that the universe is this dynamic dance of opposites. You literally can't have light without dark, or strength without weakness, or noise without silence. Harmony isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about embracing their interplay and finding that perfect balance in between. This principle of balance has some really profound implications, even for things like leadership. See, a Taoist leader doesn't command through force. They lead by humble example. They serve the people without needing a pat on the back. They are, you guessed it, like water again, powerful because they are unassuming and adaptable, not because they are rigid and demanding. All right, so these are some really powerful ideas from an ancient world. But what do they actually mean for us, right now, in an age of constant notifications and pressure? Well, this is where the Tao's wisdom becomes truly transformative. So, here's the most crucial takeaway. The wisdom of the Tao Te Ching is a powerful antidote to the chaos of our time. In a world that demands speed, hustle, and total control, this text offers a radically different and maybe much needed path forward. So, what this timeless wisdom really offers us today are three powerful practices. First, the courage to actually slow down and find the power that's waiting in stillness and silence. Second, the incredible freedom that comes when you let go of that exhausting need to have absolute control over everything. And third, the ability to find strength in softness, to realize that being adaptable is so much more powerful than being rigid. So, I'll just leave you with this. Whether it's the power of effortless action, the peace of simplicity, or the strength you can find in letting go. Which of these ancient lessons does your modern life seem to need the most right now? The answer just might be the perfect antidote to the chaos. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.